Growing up, I was constantly reminded on certain gender differences, whether that be how I acted, dressed, and even what subjects I was encouraged to study. I did not know before this class how these gender differences similarly played a role in healthcare, specifically in mental health treatment. The treatment of 19th century white women in asylums contained notions of gender divisions of moral treatment. These women's treatment were based on male doctors' medical authoritative knowledge, encouragement to engage in gender-specific activities within their psychological treatment, and finally, their mental health was judged based off their appearance. Even the category of the mentally ill became gendered at this time. The symbolic gender of the insane person shifted from male to female. In Elaine Showalter's The Female Malady, she writes about how men held authoritative knowledge in the Victorian era. During this time, a hierarchy existed between men and women, men being doctors and the women as patients. She discusses how their notions of womanhood and femininity shaped their treatment in mental hospitals. Dr. Hayden, the secretary for the Society of Obstetrics, explains his ideas towards women within medicine as, "We are in fact the stronger and they the weaker. They are obliged to believe all that we tell them. They are not in a position to dispute anything we say to them, and we, therefore, may be said to have them at our mercy." This authoritative approach towards medicine allowed male doctors to determine who was healthy by their definitions of femininity. Their definitions of what was ladylike consisted of silence, taste, service, and gratitude. These traits were usually shaped during the moral management treatment, which encouraged these distinct traits for women. Moral management treatment consists of regimented duties, meals, activities, and chores to bring structure to a patient's life, and it was a popular treatment method in this era. For women patients, their activities, chores, and even their meals were gendered to encourage the doctor's idea of femininity towards his patients. In moral treatment, women's occupations were intended to reinforce conventional sex role behaviors. Psychiatrists did not encourage women to exercise their body, but women were encouraged to engage in social activities and social decorum. Men, on the other hand, had a lot of variety regarding hands-on jobs, while females were in charge of cleaning, laundry, and sewing. These tasks were so divided by gender that in rare cases when male patients were supposed to do domestic chores, visitors touring the asylum considered this arrangement neither manly, healthful, nor useful, placing preference on traditional labor divisions. Female appearance was also a sign of the mental stability of a patient. Psychiatrists judged a patient's sanity based on how close a patient reflected modern fashion standards. The appearance of women's bodies was an independent indicator of the health of a woman. Psychiatrists took photographs of female patients as a tool of recording the female appearance in order to track the treatment progress within asylums during this time. 19th century women experienced a very different route of treatment than Victorian-era men. Unfortunately, a fully treated patient was subjected to how the doctor treated her. She had to comply with stereotyped feminine traits while being forced to comply with the menial work that was considered women's work. In order to be considered treated, a woman must comply with traditional feminine norms under the authority of the male doctor's subjective beliefs. Understanding the history of 19th century gender differences allows me to reflect on how that relates with other experiences in my life that are shaped by gender.